The Burning Fire, personal narrative written by Evan. I could feel the drenching water from the clothes I wore before on my road trip to San Francisco with my family. Mom, why is the room so cold? I asked. I knew that it was best to wait for her to leave the only room with the shower and the toilet. Then the door to the bathroom slid to the right with a loud crack. Are you ready? Pondered my mom. Yes, exclaimed my brother and I at once. She grabbed the supplies for the things that might happen while my brother swims in the heated indoor pool, for my brother has not been feeling well since the trip started. When the time was right, our feet slipped themselves in our shoes without notice. I placed my cold palm on the rusty old doorknob. If it were alive, it would think I was in Antarctica, but really I was on the 31st floor of a hotel. Right when I was about to open the door, there was a loud ring. The phone, Mom, I bellowed across the room. Got her, she responded back with a frown. She rested the heavy weight on the closest bed to her. I slipped my feet out of my shoes and a smile from ear to ear spread across my face. I soared through the air and landed on the bed and admired the paintings with thoughts about my friends in their car driving here. My brother came to had a smile on his face as if he saw my mind and copied me the next thing you knew it. Ah, my brother sighed. I could see that there was something wrong by the way I saw and heard the way my mom handled the phone. Really? Okay, we'll be down there in a moment, my mother remarked in sorrow. What's wrong? I inquired curiously. There was no response. What's wrong? I repeated. This time there was a reply. There's a fire, she told me. She started to grab my brother in her bags. I slipped my shoes on again and replaced my hand on the door, and this time I opened it. As I opened the door, there stood two figures with a long vacuum we didn't know. Did you get the call too? Inquired my mom. But they stared at us as if we were crazy and responded no. But if there is, then you could go down the emergency staircase, the maid remarked. Then she pointed to the door that had a sign that said emergency stairs. With disappointment, my mother rested her palm on the doorknob and opened it. Then we stepped into the stairs. The stairs looked like they haven't been cleaned in ages. There was mud, dirt, and other filthy things that we didn't want to touch. I tried not to complain, but gave away my thoughts by shaking my head and let out the words as if I was choking. No, I didn't want to go down the filthy stairs. It was strange because no one was in the corridor with us, so we had to go down 31 floors. When we first came to this hotel and discovered we were on the 31st floor, we thought that it would be nice, but we were far from close. Although it did have a nice view, it was tough going down 31 floors. We had no choice but to go down it. My mother gave me the bag she was holding to carry my brother down all the stairs, so he didn't have to walk. I didn't complain about anything apart from the feelings about the stairs. As we approached the 15 floors, the bags I was swinging ripped and things were flying everywhere. My mom sighed in a whisper under her breath. Now what did you do? My brother was under a large stress because of taking care of a sick boy in an active one is not easy. As we cleaned up silently, my brother stood there without saying anything. As we finished, my mother picked up my brother again and started down the stairs. As we reached the 10th floor, we heard noises and thought it was either the fire or it was the firefighters coming to the rescue. But then we realized that it had just been the air vent bursting while it was there. As we approached the 3rd floor, there were 2 routes we could take. Before we knew it, we went on a route that led us to a huge door that stated that it was for employees only. So we took the other route that led us to the kitchen. But the kitchen had a burnt smell to it. It smelled like burnt popcorn or a barbecue that had spread. But when we marched in, there was nothing at all, just a plain room with all the furniture intact. Before I knew it, the smell was getting worse. Then we saw the fire. My brother and my mother just stood there along with me as if we were frozen. I finally decided to run for it. It was getting hotter. We all sprinted to the door. There was sweat dripping all over us, not from running, but from the fire. When we reached the door, I grabbed for it with all my might. I opened it to see sunlight bursting into the windows. I finally opened it for my family to get out, but not the fire. It was just in time. Just then I slammed the door with a loud boom. We all gasped to catch our breath. We knelt down on our knees with heavy breaths. Then we walked together with all our stuff in front of the beginning of our evacuation. We walked down the dark and long corridor gracefully, with nothing but asking if we were all okay. We reached the lobby with pride as if we achieved winning award. We met up with our dad and our friends who arrived there just in time. We told them about the whole story and then sat there until the fireman/woman cleared up the fire. Now that I look back on my experience, I see that next time, instead of standing there like ice, we should be as rapid as a cheetah.
created using Powtoon.